Hello and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Randesha, or Randy for short, and I make budgeting, planning, and organization videos. So if that interests you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you'll be notified the next time I upload. Okay, so in this video, I will be doing my February and March debt snowball update, because I didn't do one for February yet. So, and it's pretty early for my March one. I usually do it like a month later, but I feel like it's the end of March, so I can go ahead and do it because I pretty much paid the debt payments for the month anyway. So we'll just do February and March together. Okay, so the latest update is that in February, let's see. I know in February I paid $51 on this one, but I think I paid the balance. So for this one, my pen is kind of running out. I am kind of guessing on this one because I paid this one off this month. So, but I'm not exactly sure because I could have paid it off in February. Either way, this one is paid in full. So the end of year balance, I'm going to put 0. It never had interest, and I'm going to check paid off. So now that this one is paid off, how the debt snowball works is that the minimum payment that I was paying on this one gets rolled into the next payment, like minimum payment for the next highest balance, because you start with the lowest balance and you pay off the lowest balance and you pay off your balances from low to high balance despite interest. So I know some people are like, oh, well, you want to do it so that you pay off your balance with the highest interest so you're not paying as much interest. That's called the avalanche method, but I'm doing the debt snowball method. Now that this one is paid off, I'm gonna take the $51 minimum balance that I was paying here and I'm gonna roll it into this balance, which is my phone. We financed it, and Lord willing, we will not finance another phone. So I'm going to take this $51, add it to this $30.41, and we're going to pay, what is that? $81.41 for March. So $81.41 for March, and then February was just the $30.41 because this balance wasn't paid off yet. So I was still paying the minimum on everything. So this is going to be the new minimum balance for this debt going forward. So until it's paid off, I will be paying $81.41 for April, May, June, and so on and so forth until it's paid off. So let's continue to fill in February and March. Okay, so St. Joseph is a hospital bill. So this one, I know I've been paying just the balance. So $80.25. Okay, and then for the rest of them, I'm just going to fill in the balances. So I think I am going to create my own debt tracker spreadsheet, because when I saw this one, this is the start of what I was looking for. But now that I'm using it and getting into it, I think I'm going to create something else for May, because you guys should see a video by now that I'm switching from the Happy Planner budget planner and I'm turning this into a business planner. So yeah, so more on that later. But I think in my new budget planner, I am going to recreate this debt tracker to something else that will fit my needs a little bit more. So, but for right now, this is this page. And then for the back page, 5748, 5748. This is my first school loan. Oh, speaking of school loans, I think I told you guys that my husband has started his journey towards med school, and he's been in community college right now. Thank God, especially with things that are going on right now. But he just got his letter that he got accepted into the university that he was trying to get into, which is a local university. So that's good news for us, and a pretty dark time. So yeah, so this one right here is my labor and delivery for my son, my hospital bill. Unfortunately, that one's still not paid off, but I know going into baby number 2, whenever that may be, to how much to save up for it. So I think we're probably going to do like 5,000 for baby number 2 is like the starting point for the labor and delivery. Yes, we have health insurance and whatever, but I mean, that's just the way it's shook out for my for my son. I shouldn't say first child, but for my son. So, and the reason I have parentheses and I added some amounts right here is because my husband actually had a hospital bill. So I just added it to my hospital bill because they bill each person separately. Even though it's one account, they bill each person separately. So, I mean, it makes sense, but whatever. And my son's bills are on my hospital bills. So I just added, this is a combination of me, my son, and my husband's hospital bills for February and March. So for February, we paid, what is that, $179. And then for March, we paid, what is this? That's 277 in March for hospital bills. So my husband's hospital bill is now paid off. My husband doesn't have a professional bill or a hospital bill for Kaiser, so that's good. So all I need to concentrate on now is this hospital bill, because the professional bill from like the doctors billing us has now been paid off up here. So now all we have from Kaiser is the actual hospital bill that we have to pay off, which is a balance of, at the start of the year, it was $3,615 if we're rounding up. So a pretty hefty bill, but we'll get through it slowly but surely. And then our Sapphire credit card, we are still paying $200 a month. So I'm just going to fill that in. And there was an opportunity for us to, like, another one of my credit cards offered me the opportunity to transfer a balance with 0% APR. And my husband and I were thinking about it, honestly. But the thing is, just to give you a little background for those who are not familiar with balance transfers on credit cards, because my husband wasn't, so I'm not going to assume that, my audience knows what it is. So for those of you who don't, a balance transfer on credit cards is basically an offer that a credit card is making. So in my case, it was Discover. Discover offered me the chance to transfer a balance from another credit card. So say we were thinking about this Sapphire card, which is from Chase. So they offered whatever balance I have on my Sapphire card, I can transfer whatever amount from this balance over to Discover, up to my credit limit at Discover. So say like my credit limit at Discover was $2,000, and for Sapphire, my credit limit with Chase was $7,000. So of this $6,000 that we owe, we could only transfer over $2,000 to Discover under like the balance transfer terms, which I'll get into in just a second. I could only transfer over $2,000 to Discover because that is my limit at Discover, if that makes sense. So we were discussing it because Discover was offering us a balance transfer of 0% versus we are currently being charged at Chase Sapphire 17.49%. So it makes sense to take advantage of the balance transfer and transfer it over to Discover up to like whatever, how much we're feeling, up to the balance transfer, not the balance transfer, up to the credit limit at Discover. So the only thing that gives us pause is that with everything going on right now, the additional terms of that balance transfer is that we would have 12 months of 0% interest on that balance transfer. So say like my credit line was 2,000 and I chose to transfer 2,000 of this 6,000 balance over to Discover. At that point, I would have 12 months of zero interest to pay off that $2,000. But say like something happened, I'm not going to jinx us. Say something happened with us financially where we couldn't meet that $2,000, like we couldn't pay off that $2,000 like we intended. The terms of the balance transfer is that any balance left over in the balance transfer would be charged at 20%, I mean, not 20%, 21% interest. So looking at that, it's like, do we want to take the chance to transfer over any amount of money from this Sapphire card to Discover to take advantage of that 0% interest? Because at that point, the money that we're applying to the Discover balance goes 100% to principal, none of it to interest because it's 0% interest. Versus the 17.49% that we're paying already on the Chase. So it's like, is that risk of potentially not paying off that whole $2,000 amount that we transferred over worth the risk of that 0% interest for 12 months or not? Because if we don't pay it off, anything left over, say like we have $500 when that 12-month period is up, say we have $500 left to pay. At that point, $500 is going to start being billed at 21% interest, which is higher than the current interest we're paying on this Sapphire card. So initially, like if at any other time, this would be a no-brainer for me and my family. But with everything going on with, apparently we can't say, the full virus name and all that kind of stuff because YouTube is demonetizing videos that are mentioning it for whatever reason is what I'm hearing. So I'm not going to say, that virus name, but y'all know what I'm talking about. With everything going on with that right now and people losing their jobs left and right, I don't feel comfortable taking advantage of something I would have took advantage of in a heartbeat before, because again, if we transferred over any amount and then something happened where we couldn't pay anything and we just had to meet, we just had to focus on our four walls and debt payment was just not an option for us, then at that point we would be basically trading this 17.49% for a higher interest rate of 21%. Like, does that make sense? Does like the logic behind it and like the decision that we have to make sense? I hope so, because this might be something that you guys, might be able to take advantage of. If you have like a more stable job and you have debt, then I personally think that balance transfers are a good option if you can pay off that balance within the specified time that they give you for like the lower or 0% APR. Like I typically only go for 0% APRs on balance transfers because it's the best deal to me. So they did offer another deal where they gave you more time. I think it was 18 or 24 months in order to pay off the balance transfer amount. But at that point, they were offering a like 7% APR on the balance transfer. And also another thing, if like you're new to it, balance transfers are not free. There is a fee, and it varies with each credit card company. There is a fee to transfer over that balance. Usually it could be like a flat fee, or it could be a percentage of the amount that you're transferring over. So say if that $2,000 was what we were going to transfer over and they charged $199 in order for us to transfer it over, then we'd have to pay $199 just to transfer it over, or if they charged us a 10% fee, then I don't think it's that high. It's usually like a 2 or 3% fee. But if it was a 10% fee for easy math, if we transferred over $2,000 and they charged us 10% to do it, then that's $200 that we would be charged in order to take advantage of the balance transfer. I hope that makes sense. So that was something that we were thinking about when it came to our debt, and I will let you guys know what we decide. But for right now, that's what's going on with this larger balance. So I would like to take advantage of it, but again, just not certain in the time, the timing of the balance transfer right now. So I wanted to tell you something about this page. Oh, I wanted to calculate how long it would take us to pay off this bill right now with the new minimum balance being $81.41. And I have a spreadsheet that tracks all of this. It's just that I don't want to put you guys up to the spreadsheet and do all that. Like, I'm just not in the mood, honestly, right now. So I just wanted to update this tracker and just do this video real quick. So 570.33 was the beginning balance. So subtract 30, spot 41, that's 539, spot 92 was our ending balance in January. So subtract an additional minimum payment of 30.41, and that is 509, spot 41 at the end of February. So now if we take this 81.41 and subtract it from for the March payment, our new balance at the end of March will be 428.10. So 428, I'm gonna just write that really quick. 428.10. How long would it take us to pay this off, making 81.41 minimum payment? 81.41. So yeah, it would take us a little over 5 months. So 81.41, 81.41, 81.41, 81.41, 81.41, and then whatever the remaining balance is will be due in September. And I think it's like $20 and some change or something around there. So we wouldn't pay this balance off with just this minimum payment until September of 2020. That's a long time. So I'm going to look into seeing how we can pay this off faster so that we can roll this 81.41 into this bill right here. And this becomes like 160 or something. So that's just my thinking right now. And that's just the plan. But again, in today's environment, I'm like, we're not going to be super aggressive with paying off debt. My husband and I are fortunate that our hours haven't been cut and we still have our jobs. So we're going to continue with our debt snowball, but we're only going to be making the minimum payments. We are going to discuss very carefully in detail whether it makes sense or not, and whether we feel comfortable with making larger payments in order to get out of debt faster. Because my thinking personally that I don't want to, assuming our 4 walls are taken care of, this debt is still going to be due. Granted, with the environment right now, these credit card companies and whoever, hospitals or whatever, would probably be willing to work something out so that, we would have more time to pay off these balances. But in case there's a company that's stubborn, I don't want to get behind on a debt payment. So that's why I'm I still want to carry for our debt journey. And I don't want to stockpile. If we're able to make an extra payment to pay something off, to pay it off, not to just throw money at something to get a lower balance. But if we were able to pay it off, then I want to go ahead and do that, because again, this debt is still going to be coming after us if we were to need to sell the house and utility, like have no bills whatsoever, get rid of the house and just worry about putting food on the table type thing, like this debt would still be coming after us versus the mortgage and all the rest of the bills would be gone because we would have no place to live. Therefore, there would be like no Netflix and Hulu and internet and all that kind of good stuff. So even though you do have it on your phone, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. This debt will still be coming after us. So as much as possible, we're going to continue our debt snowball journey, and that is the plan right now. So yeah, but this is like, unfortunately, this is a decision that a lot of us are having to make if we have debt. So this is our plan for right now when it comes to debt. If you guys want to hear like what our overall plan is to weather the storm right now, then hit the like button, and then I'll know to make a video on like what our priorities are, what we're going to be concentrating on, touch a little bit on this debt, our debt plan, and just like what we're doing in order to hopefully remain financially stable as like the economy and all the other kind of stuff, this pandemic is going crazy. So yeah, if you guys like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, and if you want to see more of my videos, then hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I post, and I shall catch you guys in the next one. Bye.